I started the Girl Blue Project because I was volunteering a lot, and I was volunteering in the public school system. And I noticed that the girls there were missing something, that they didn't have any motivation. The boys would go out and play. There was just a lot of things missing with girls. And as I said earlier, growing up as a girl, I think that we are often dismissed, often taught to suppress our talents, our gifts, to be seen, not heard, to focus on. We live in a society that values women based on how they look, and not in what they know, and not what's on the inside of them. And so when I was at Howard University, I used to work with Duke Ellington in the summertime, and work with, a lot of things, and work with youth. And so I thought, why can't we just bring this to LA and deal with girls? Because I'm a female and I know what girls need. I know what we're lacking, and it's just that spiritual connection. So I wanted to create a program that was based in performing arts, because I think that people in general, I think they learn better if it's based in the arts. You don't have to be a singer to learn discipline from singing or acting or dancing or writing. Everybody's creative in some way. And so as an artist, I wanted to use the performing arts mixed with spirituality, like yoga and self-awareness classes and journaling, and really focusing on who you are as a human being, and create a curriculum that would empower young girls. And I focused on girls who are low income or in foster care, who normally wouldn't have access to these types of programs due to financial situations. And so I was like, well, what if we created a summer program? And parents who always have an excuse of, oh, I didn't put her in this because we can't afford it. And I was like, if we take the money off the table, then there's no excuse for you not to be here and participate in this 6 weeks or whatever, program. So that is why I created the Girl Blue Project, and it ran successful for 10 years. And I would take off in the summer and just commit to it. I didn't get paid, but I paid the teachers, and I spent a lot of time making sure I got the best of the best teachers, and I paid them. And that was key, because a lot of artists are always being asked to do things for free. And I wanted to get the best of the best, and I wanted us to be like a group of aunts and uncles for the girls that we were going to be working with each summer. And it turned out to be that. So the discipline was there, the what are you doing, that, the giving them a lot of attention where they couldn't get away with anything, and they had to be accountable for their actions and understand how the decisions that they make affect their lives. And that's what it is. A lot of the money was my money that I had saved, and through donations, we became a nonprofit after the first year that I started it. And so now people could donate and things like that. And most recently, I just stopped the school. We haven't had a summer school in a while. After the last year, I went to Ghana. I went to Accra in Takoradi in West Africa to basically kind of take the program there as a representative, and volunteered and taught school there, and worked in an orphanage and worked with a lot of girls, and just had the best time of my life. So it's about being of service and empowering youth, and girls in particular. And right now, what I'm looking for, because I am busy as a playwright and I'm working as an actor, is to find somebody, an Oprah, Queen Latifah, or somebody to really come and take it over, because the program works. It's perfect. It just needs, I can't do everything that I was doing before, because I'm focusing on me now. But the website is still there. We're definitely always looking. I had a conversation with somebody a couple of months ago who was interested in coming in and taking over the administrative aspect of it and running it in that way, so I can just take care of the girls, the schools, because the program is needed. I get calls every summer. I got a call a couple of months ago. Are you going to do it? Are you going to? I was like, well, we're not doing it because of COVID, but I haven't been doing it because it was, just I was raising the money by my, raising money, doing things like that. And so I needed help, and big help, because the program started to get bigger and bigger as people knew about it. And I would love if anybody is interested and wants to talk to me about the nonprofit status is there. Everything is working. I just need a building. I need somebody to say, especially now, that yes, I can work with you on this. And it's just like picking something up. It's like buying a house that's already perfect and furnished and this and that. We just need somebody to help with the mortgage. You need somebody to help on that aspect of it, and to keep it working. One of the things that I did do, because people would always say, you should get a celebrity. I didn't really want it to be about that, because I knew that I know programs that celebrities have. They have their summer camps, and kids go because they want to meet that celebrity. But this was really about personal work. We had a therapist. We had a therapist, a real therapist that worked with them every week. They would have these group therapy sessions, and Planned Parenthood worked with us on their sexual health. We have a gentleman that works with a finance company. He came to teach them money management. I wanted these girls to have skills, especially the ones in foster care, just in case they aged out. Because a lot of kids age out and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to write a check. They don't know how to do anything. They don't know how to manage their money or buy food or have basic life skills. And people, I think that they forget that. They think that people turn 18 and all of a sudden you know how to do everything. And so that was a part of it too, just giving them skills. As if I had a daughter, these are all the things that I would want her to know and to teach her in the way that we teach her, and send them out into the world. And so I have girls now, some of them have babies, they're married, they've gone on to UCLA, have degrees, and it's so fascinating to get those phone calls. And it's like, I remember you did this, Miss Marlow. They call me Miss Marlow. And I learned this from Girl Blue, and Girl Blue is forever, and da 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 da. And it warms my heart, because I know that we made a difference. And I think that we still can. I still keep it there, just waiting, because I started to shut it down. I was literally doing the paperwork, and I screwed up the paperwork twice. And so the state of California was like, no, you're still up and running. We can't. And I told my friend, I was like, I have never tried to say I'm ending something and it just refuses to end. And so I was just like, so I said, I think I'm going to keep it open and just wait until the right moment happens where there's a connection. And I do believe that that will happen. The people that have come through that program, and the girls that have come through that program, and how it's affected their life, because these girls are with us for an entire summer, 6 weeks, every day, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4. And so they have so much work to do, so much work on themselves, and they aren't paying to be there. So nothing is keeping them there, and they never leave. They want to be there. They have yoga first thing in the morning, 8 to 9 yoga class, 9 to 11 self-awareness. They spend 2 hours in journaling and thinking about themselves and working on the 4 agreements by Don Miguel-Ruiz, and using Iyanla Vanzant's workbook for teen girls. All of these little things that just feed their souls and just really take them out of the world that they live in and help them navigate through it. I think it's so important, your spiritual health, and not religion, but just to connect to who you are on a higher level, and think about your purpose. And I don't think that being 13 or 14 years old is too young to start that, because I sure wish that somebody would have done that with me, taking that time, because all the things that I went through, all the silly mistakes that I've made, because I just didn't know, because nobody took the time to teach me. So that's what the Girl Blue Project is. We're the aunts and the uncles, and it's a cool vibe. Everybody's relaxed. We're just there for them. And we change the program each year, depending on the group of girls that we have, because each group seems to have their own personality. And one of the good things about me starting it and me running it is that I have a certain curriculum. But when I see that something is needed with this particular group, then I change it. And I'm like, you know what? We need to take blah, blah, blah classes. This group needs money management. We need to get them in here. They don't know how to count. They don't know how to count their money. They don't know how to budget. And so it's like, boom, I can do that. Being in a school setting, you can't. It's limiting. And so it's great. And we take everybody. We take, as long as you identify as a female, then you're welcome. The only rule is you have to complete the program. You don't have to pay for anything. You just have to make a commitment to yourself to be a part of the program. We even buy their pencils and papers and provide their books for them. So it costs a lot of people. When they find out what we were doing, they started donating to us. Amber Publishing Company sent me a box of the 4 agreements, because they were like, you're doing this for free. We would love for you to be teaching, So that was amazing. I got some in Spanish. So I was able to I had some girls whose parents don't really speak English. And I was like, this will be a great book for them. It's by Miguel-Ruiz. It's in Spanish, and I have they can listen to it in Spanish as well. And so it helped them to connect to their parents on a certain level. And taking yoga every day, which I found out was most of their favorite class, which I was so surprised, because they have to take yoga every day from 8 to 9. And at the end, we would be like, what's your favorite class? And their 2 favorite classes were yoga and self-awareness. So I was like, that lets me know that they're searching to work on themselves on a personal level, on a more spiritual level, even at this age. Like, they like it because they don't get that in schools. They don't even get the arts in schools really anymore. You have to be, in band or something like that to get a music class now. And so I noticed that too. And I grew up in the school system still, where arts were a part of the school system. So to have that taken out, I was just like, well, what do y'all do? No wonder you're bored. No wonder you're on your phones, because you're not using your creativity. You're not painting. You're not every day. You're not listening to music. You're not learning dancing. You're not doing anything unless you take it as an elective. I was like, at least expose them to it. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. But plus, I'm a theater girl, so I can't imagine a child not having the experience of theater at some point in their life. So, but yeah, so that's what it is. That's where we are with it, where I am. It still exists. The school, well, it's COVID too, but even if it wasn't, I just said, we're going to put the school on hold until I can find somebody to sit with me and say, I see what you're doing. I can help you. I got people who can take care of the taxes, take care of all those little administrative things that I do, and I can do them, but it is exhausting because I'm a creative. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with payroll. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with any of that. I want to come in here and get these girls up and going. That's the focus. So that's what it is. And thank you for asking about it, because I do get a lot of calls about it, and it kind of makes me feel sad when parents call me and be like, are you doing it this summer? My girl wants to. And I was like, no, we're not. We're not set up this summer. Because one of the things too is that it was a summer program. So it was very hard for me to secure a steady space, because people want you to rent all year round. And I was like, I'm not going to be here all year round. I don't want to pay this kind of money, and I'm only going to be here 3 months or 2 months out of the year. And so, but Emmanuel Presbyterian Church on Wilshire Boulevard was like, no, we'll house you and we'll give you a good rate since you're not charging. So, and the Hayward Theater, we were housed there for a few years, and that was amazing. So we always managed to find, when people see what we are doing we find a place, but it was still challenging because it's like, I don't know, it's like being a military kid. Each year you got to move someplace, you know? So, so I'm looking for stability or somebody so we can set it up. Because I also want to expand it. And that was another thing all the girls would always say, when we go back to school, we wish we had this. And people say, you should have an after school program. But it's like, I don't have after school program money or time. And if somebody could set that up, like I said, I don't know, because there's so many people who are about girl empowerment and women this and women that, and that's great. But this, we have to start with the youth. And this is a perfect program if somebody who has the means or who has the connections that I just don't have. And right now I'm focusing on my career. And so this was something that I just wanted to do on the side, but it just blew up. It became bigger than what I thought. I was just like, okay, in the summer we'll do a little program. And then we would get calls every year, and then it became this. And I was like, oh, I know, starting from little and not worrying about people knowing what I do. If you do it, it grows. And sometimes it grows where you're like, okay, I'm not ready. All right. It's like, okay, that's a lot. We can't take that many girls. We can't take, but it's a good problem. It was a good problem to have at the time. So, but yeah, that's where I am with it. And it was something that is dear to me. And I started it from the ground up and created the curriculum and put together everything in the whole, the book list and everything. And it turned out to be, it's an amazing program, and it still works. One of the things I will say I learned about Grow Blue is that you don't need money to do what you're going to do. You need a commitment. And I think that people equate that with, the only reason why I'm not doing Grow Blue today is because I was like, okay, I did that for 10 years. Now I want to focus on me. And even though Grow Blue was a summer program, it took me all year. You got to plan it all year. It's like a wedding. It's like, okay, it's that one day, but it takes a year to plan everything. And so I'm working a job, and then I'm like getting this, I'm talking to parents, and I'm getting teachers, and I'm coordinating with Planned Parenthood and the Jewish Federation League, because we make the girls volunteer. And so the Jewish Federation League, I partnered with them, and they would come train our girls to teach the first and second graders at a local school reading. They would read to them. They would come in and be their reading partners to help them read because their parents didn't speak English. So on Fridays, half day, and the rest of the day, we would walk down. When we were on Wilshire Boulevard, we would walk down to I think it's Los Alamos Elementary School. That was the closest. It's about 5-6 blocks away. So they were like, sure, we need the help. These teachers need assistance. And that worked because the kids like the girls, because these girls are 14, 15, 16 years old. So they listen to them more than a 40-year-old teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like their big sister is coming to class and working with them one-on-one. So they were learning, they were getting it, and they loved it. And I was like, so, even teaching people who seem to need a lot, like girls in foster care, it's like, but you have to give back too. You can't be, the person who is always receiving. Now, this is how you can give back even where you are right now. It doesn't cost you money to do that. And that's how I felt about Grow Blue when I started. I was like, it doesn't really cost me money. I mean, it did cost me money, but honestly, I could have done it for free if people would have said, okay, since you're not charging, we'll give you this building. We'll give you this space. Since you're not charging, we'll donate these books. Since you're not charging, I'll donate my services as your dance teacher, as your this teacher, as your that teacher. Because it's just 6 weeks. And I was like, because I'm very much into the barter system mindset of life. Like, I was just like, just think about this world would be if you just said, this is what I'm skilled at, and I can commit, 24 hours a year, which will be 2 classes a week times 6. Really, it's less than that. So about 20 hours for over a 2-week period, 20 total hours. Think about it. If you think about it in terms of years, like, that's what I'm doing. I teach creative writing, or for you may teach how to start your own YouTube channel or something like that. Something that they could relate to. And you go, I'm just doing it. This is what I do in July and August. I teach it twice a week for 6 weeks, and then I go on about my business. I can give that for free. You know what I mean? I don't expect people to, but that's why I like to pay them. But I'm just saying programs like this could be done without exchanging of, money, if people just simply make the commitment and put it in perspective of the time they're actually committing, and just do it and be like, that's the one thing that I do a year. That's my commitment, and that's what I do to give back. And you change lives, because it's a ripple effect. Those girls go on to be like, I want to teach when I get older. I want to go to school. I'm going to come back. I want to talk to the girls. So they're coming back and they're talking to the next group of girls and telling them their experience and helping them and, talking to them about what they learned and what they did. So it's that community, it's that tribe, it's that, that village, so to speak, and it honestly works. It honestly works.